Okay, we should be live. We should be live. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're doing well. Just a quick little stream, man. We won't be going for too long. Maybe an hour, just over an hour, something like that. But yeah, man, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. We'll keep it strictly boxing and boxing only. But yeah, big up to you guys. Let me sort a couple of bits in the background quickly. There we go. Unrivaled boxing talk in the house. Yes, unrivaled. Big up to you, sir. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well. Let's crack open a beer. Why not? I can handle my drink on stream. That's petty, man. That's petty. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, big up to Unrivaled. Salute to you, sir. Neil Simpson in the chat as well. What's going on with AJ and Fury? You know, quite frankly, at this point, I've lost interest in what's going on publicly. Ultimately, I'm really waiting for some tangible news to report on or get excited about. But you know, it seems to be a lot of back and forth right now. It looks like Eddie's, negotiating, I guess, for the site fee. Maybe I don't really know, bro. I really don't know. That sounded like a Diet Coke. Of course it was, bro. Of course. But yeah, big up to the Boxing Lounge. Big up to the Bump of K. Unrivaled, he enjoyed that one. I'm on the old San Miguel today. We're going Mediterranean. Bit of Spanish beer. Why not? I think it's Spanish anyway. I'm assuming it is. Yes, AA Boxing and Blunts. Neil Simpson says Tyson Fury's acting like a kid and trying to mess the whole thing up. I don't know, man. Honestly, bro, I'm just like to the point now where I'm just not interested in following what's going on, what both parties are saying at this point. I think it will happen. It's just getting to that point now. But I do believe it's going to happen. I do believe it's going to happen. But yeah, big up to AA. Salute to you, sir. Big up to Ed Kaler as well. Yeah, we got Apology Man in the house. Yes, big up to Apology. I heard you on the Second Renaissance last night, man. So big up to you. Really good show, actually, last night by the BDA guys. Second Renaissance. Really good stuff, man. Got me thinking about a few things. They was talking about all sorts, man. There we go. There you go. Sorted. Yes, exactly, Neil, man. It's just, it's frustrating right now, man. Listen, I'll make a video when something tangible happens, when something like, positive happens or negative. But right now, there's really not too much to report on when it comes to Fury Joshua. Again, I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty certain of it. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, definitely Apology. I'll definitely come on at some point. It's just with Second Renaissance, it tends to be really late. So if I'm working, I can't really do it. But I'll definitely go on there if I get a chance. Big up to Colin, sup geezer. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm looking forward to this Chisora fight. He's now my favorite heavyweight. Yeah, I think it'll be a good little fight, but I think Joseph, if he's on his A game, should win that fight if he's up for it. He's a better boxer, quicker hands, quicker feet, better technique, more explosive. I just think he's better all around than Derek Chisora. But with Joseph Parker, really, it's down to mentality. He's not got that killer instinct that you want from a great fighter. That's always kind of let him down in his career. But at the same time, Derek's not exactly got a great track record in these sort of fights. So I'm leaning towards Joseph Parker. Parker on points. You're watching the fight of the century, Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I'll probably watch it the next day, though. I don't think I'll stay up for it. But I'm intrigued to see how Andy looks in that fight, see how much weight he's lost, to see if his style's changed any whatever. So I'm looking forward to it. I expect him to win that fight comfortably, though. Chisora's not won a fight in years. Yeah, he's lost his big ones. Oh yeah, that'll always be fun. But listen, man, they're always going to moan about something, man. I just ignore those guys, quite frankly. They're not really worth paying attention to. But yeah, I think Bum's a bit harsh. I think Derek is he's a good gatekeeper, Derek. Melikuziev fighting Rosado on June 19th on the Munguia Selecki card. Yeah, I like that fight for Bektemir Melikuziev. I'm presuming that fight's at 168. If it is, I'm glad. I think Melikuziev should actually concentrate on 168, to be honest, given his size. And that's a step in the right direction. Rosado is a tough man. Underrated boxing ability, great chin, great durability, experienced. That's a good test for Melikuziev. That's definitely a good test. And I actually like the main event as well, Munguia Selecki. I think that'll be a fun little fight. So all in all, Nathan, that card's actually shaping up to be a pretty good card, man. Pretty good card. Chisora loses every fight. He loses every big one. I'm looking forward to Tennyson. He's a wee banger. A bit limited in his ability, but can bang all of those Tony Dunlop boys can. Yeah, he's definitely vulnerable, James Tennyson. Not got the greatest chin in the world, but like you say, he can punch. He's aggressive. He's a fun fighter. So I'm not really too up to date with his opponent though. So we'll see. Not many guys would bring it to Vitali and go 12 rounds. Yeah, exactly. He's a tough old boy, Derek Chisora. He's a tough guy. Yeah, I've not seen anything of Straffon either. Still salty as Camille getting robbed at the weekend, by the way. Yeah, I felt that was a Stonewall robbery. That was up there with Rolly Romero and Jackson Martinez. I thought it was that bad, to be honest. He was comfortably beat Adelaide in that fight. And they need to rematch. They need to make that a rematch ASAP, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that's fair enough, AA Boxing and Blunts. He's always, for the most part, Chisora's good value for money in terms of entertainment. Neil Simpson, what round? Do you mean Andy Ruiz, Areola? I'd say round 5, Andy Ruiz knockout. This pay-per-view this weekend is actually criminal. Hope it flops hard on Sky Sports. Yeah, I'm not buying it, Bump of K. I'm streaming it, bro. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to stream it. Basically, yeah, they are high level. They're basically high level gatekeepers, Max. That's what they are. High level gatekeepers. They're not bad fighters, but if you're worth anything, you'll beat them, kind of thing. Chisora is what Dave Allen should be, a tough domestic fighter that 99% of the time gives it his all. Instead, he cries and looks for sympathy and attention like a little girl. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I don't think Dave Allen would get to that level, though, in terms of like where Chisora's at. But I know what you're saying, Apology. I know what you're saying, and I agree. I'd say round 3 or round 4. Neil Simpson, Eubank Jr. knocks out Morrison. Rounds 3 or rounds 4. What was that breakfast about, Parker Chisora? I'm not sure, bro. I didn't see it. Yeah, Ammo Williams. Yeah, I saw this on Twitter actually. Ammo Williams seems to be having a breakdown. Did a rap diss song on Eddie Hearn. No idea what's happening with him. Yeah, he came out recently after that and said he's going through some things mentally. Blah de blah de blah. So yeah, that guy right now is kind of I don't know what's up with him, to be honest. I'm not sure what's up with him. Exactly, Colin. Yeah, hard-punching Mexican. Think people are sleeping on him. Yeah, he could knock out James Tennyson. Tennyson doesn't have the best chin, so if he connects, gets involved in a tear-up, he could win, no doubt. James isn't exactly hard to find, is he? Not got a great defense, there to be hit, not got a great chin. He'll trade fire with fire, so that could be a firefight. Big up to Michael Van Gerwen. By the way, Michael Van Gerwen's made me a few thumbnails and channel art, so big up to him, man. Much appreciated. He says, hello, Del. If Billy Joe Saunders wins, I'm curious to see what will happen with him next. Sorry, I'm curious to see what will happen with him and Hearn. There's no rematch clause, they said. Yeah, I'll be interested as well. I'm sure they'll all kiss and make up when there's some money to be made, to be honest. I'm sure they'll all kiss and make up. So I don't think much will happen, to be honest. I don't think much will happen. Yeah, that if you're talking about the Sonny Edwards fight, that fight's tomorrow, Simon Coulthard, the BT card. Those fights are tomorrow. Yes, big up to Boxing Underboss TV. Salute to you, sir. Salute to Boxing Underboss. Billy Joe Saunders is going to reveal a voice note between him and Eddie at the first presser. I think no matter what happens, Billy Joe Saunders and Eddie will split soon as this fight finishes. Okay, that's interesting. Hopefully Billy Joe doesn't bottle it and he actually does it. That'll be interesting, though. I wonder. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a card on BT on Friday. Dave Allen signed to Fight Zone, a new app that launches on the 1st of May in the UK. I definitely won't check it out, AA. I definitely won't check it out. Yeah. Okay, so Chisora and Parker had breakfast together. Okay. Campbell Hatton on the way up. Sorry, on a pay-per-view card again. No surprise. I know, man. I think someone like Campbell Hatton with very little amateur background, he needs to be having these sort of fights on smaller cards, less attention, less pressure. Give him a chance to learn his craft, kind of thing. But being on pay-per-view, there's going to be a lot of eyes, a lot of pressure, and it's a lot to handle for someone like him, to be honest, with no amateur background, very young. So I'm not a fan of Campbell Hatton being on pay-per-view cards. Not a fan at all. Big up to Junior. Good evening to you too, sir. Big up to Minimax Boxing as well every single time. Mutalani versus Edwards. Who have you got? I got Mutalani late stoppage, I would say. Minimax, late stoppage, Mutalani. Yeah, Fitzgerald. Yeah, he's back on the undercard. Scott Fitzgerald, yep, on the Chisora card. Billy Joe's already setting up excuses for his loss. It could just be that, Max. It could just be that. He's planting seeds. But to be honest with you, Max, if I was fighting Canelo, I would bring the judges up as well beforehand. I would, personally. Try and put some pressure on them at least. Hearn said Johnny Fisher's also on the card on Saturday. Okay, yeah, the heavyweight prospect from Romford. Be interesting to see him fight. He's got a fun style. How far he goes, I've got no idea. He's a big, strong kid, but again, not too much amateur background, so we'll see. Bivol is third on the card, so more than likely will be on at 8 p.m. That's good. I am looking forward to seeing Bivol fight again, Nathan. Just not really a fan of the actual fight itself. Craig Richards, he's a tough kid, good domestic fighter, but he's not on the level. He is not on the level. I don't like Canelo. He's a fraud, but so is Billy Joe. Yeah, Campbell Jones wouldn't get a look in. Campbell Hatton, on the other hand, shaking my head. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Friday night, yeah, Sonny Edwards, no thanks. He's in a world title fight, though, BG London. He's in a world title fight, so definitely worth a watch. The guy he's fighting, Maruti Mutalani, good fighter out of South Africa, so I think you'll see Sonny Edwards get beat up, if that's what you're into. It's definitely preferable, Colin. Certain fighters can get away with it, but it's a rarity kind of thing. Romford's Mayans, a couple of decent amateurs in the local gym. Yes, big up to G-Man Boxing. Salute to Dell. Morrison is cringe with all the Eubank KO talk, yeah. He's got to say his thing, I guess, but he's going to get absolutely blitzed in that fight. He's going to get absolutely blitzed. Did you guys watch Chris Eubank Jr.'s interview with IFL TV? I don't know why yet, but I find that guy just low-key hilarious, Chris Eubank Jr. It's his mannerisms and how he talks, his delivery kind of thing. So matter of fact, it's almost like he's trolling people. like real subtly. I kind of like Chris Eubank Jr. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Bivol versus Richards might be okay, to be honest. Dale Craig has a good hook, and he'd be an idiot to not take that shot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't blame Craig Richards for taking the fight. I mean, ultimately, it's his lottery ticket. He's not expected to win, but if he does, his life's changed forever. So, listen, he'll go in there, give it a go, but I think he's far too limited for Dimitri Bivol. Far too limited. Yeah, Johnny Fisher on the 1st of May card, yeah. Yeah, I know, Nathan. Yeah, Eubank Jr. interviews are quite good. He winds everyone up. Yeah, that's what I like about him. He's a wind-up merchant, Chris Eubank Jr. And let's be honest here, he is quite fun to watch as well, Eubank Jr. He is quite fun to watch. He's a tough kid, good chin, throws a lot of punches. He's good to watch, man. Yeah, I think he's going to stop him, Colin. I think he'll stop him late on. To be honest, Bivol needs a bit of a statement performance, so I'd like to see Bivol go for it. Campbell Hatton facing a man named Levi Dunn, who is 0-4. Pay-per-view material, Minimax. Yeah, Richards is okay. Bivol coming off a long layoff, so it's not too bad, really. Yeah, I understand the fight in regards to Bivol. You know, long time out, not fought since back end of 2019. I understand the fight. Just it being on pay-per-view, is a bit meh. Yeah, Vlasov's the real champ. I felt he beat Joe Smith Jr. Colin, I felt he won that fight. Campbell Hatton, how many times will Adam Smith make a Ricky Hatton MEN reference? I'd say at least 4 times in that fight. I think Bivol takes Spider out within 3 rounds. Yeah, I'd say mid-rounds, something like that. Maybe late. Yes, big up to Triple J in the house. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing really good. The weekend's nearly here. In the UK, we got a 3-day weekend coming up, bank holiday. So, yeah, man, it's looking good right now, man. Looking good. Yeah, there's some good fights to be made there, Colin. Obviously, you've got Anthony Yard still knocking about. Joshua Buatsi, Lyndon Arthur, Callum Johnson. If these guys all fight each other, you got some good fights. Yeah, I see why. I see why Lyndon Arthur wants the Joe Smith fight. I can see why. He'll definitely give Joe Smith a lot of problems with his jab, with his movement, but I'm not sure he's got the chin to beat Joe Smith. But he definitely gives him problems. And I agree. I think any elite level boxer beats him. Yeah, Eubank Jr. is always good to watch. Yeah, he doesn't do the usual banter in interviews. Can tell. Yeah, you can tell ain't that keen on Coogan either. Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, he's there really just for the sake of it. Natasha Jonas versus Katie Taylor. Come on, Del, you must be a bit interested. Laugh out loud. Genuinely no. I hope Natasha Jonas wins because she's like the prettier of the two. I actually don't mind Natasha Jonas in terms of looks. So I hope she wins. Bro. I'm uploading my Bivol Richards prediction. Bro, can you imagine if Richards pulls it off? Not going to happen. Yeah, Fitzgerald Facebook, Campbell box office. Yep, it's a joke. Hatton is the fight before the co-main event again. Jesus Christ. Adam Smith has a basement dungeon fact. Big up to Jazz11. Salute to you, sir. 2K21. I took out my sister in a recent dispute. Do you think I could step up and take Bivol to the streets? You might do, bro. You might do. Bivol doesn't seem the most confrontational type when it comes to the cobbles, so you might have a chance. Yeah, listen, man, it was like the typical Callum Johnson performance. He's definitely vulnerable. He's there to be hit, and he can be hurt, but his power is I think his power's real. Very aggressive guy, nice short hooks, compact fighter. Listen, man, if he catches you, you're in trouble. But I always think the elite guys are going to beat him, Callum Johnson. But he's a fun fighter, man. Very fun fighter. And yeah, he looked okay, I guess. He looked okay. Yeah, he's still with Tunde, Volks UK. He's still with Tunde. So basically, he's added another guy to the camp, and that's really it. But he's still with Tunde Ajayi. Eubank Jr. is such an arse. It's amazing. Yeah, exactly, bro. He's a troll. Like, he trolls people. I like Chris Eubank Jr. I like Chris. I like Chris. He's funny to me. I find him funny. Yeah, adding Callum Smith to the light heavyweight. What a domestic division. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Yeah, James Cook used to be a pro way back in the day, Volks UK. But really, I don't know too much about him, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's basically going to be the same old with Anthony Yard. Exactly, man. Yeah, Scott Fitzgerald being on the Sky Sports Facebook slot on pay-per-view is a bit disrespectful when Campbell Hatton is on fucking before the co-main event. Yeah, Bolotniks versus Johnson. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. That's an awesome fight. That'd be a war, you know. That'd be a war. Big up to Nez Mendoza. Salute to you, Nez. Hopefully you're keeping well. I know Mark's trolling with this one. Richards is wrong for Bivol. Bivol can't fight offbeat fighters. Big upset looming. I'll look at your prediction video on Rivaled when I get done. I'll see. I'll see what your real prediction is. Yeah, smash the thumbs up. Exactly, bro. Smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Bivol might decline a street fight, but Beterbiev or Kovalev would happily oblige. Yep, they would indeed. Oh yeah, Navarrete. Navarrete is one of the most exciting fighters in the sport of boxing, period. I think he's underrated in terms of skill. He's actually somewhat unorthodox at times, Emmanuel Navarrete. Great punch output, a lot of pressure, decent power. Navarrete is a problem for anybody in that division. I mean, I'd pick him to beat the winner of Warrington and Lara. I think he beats the winner of that fight. I think he'll beat Kid Galahad when he gets that title. He could beat Gary Russell Jr. I think Navarrete can beat anybody in that division, to tell you the truth. I really do. I think he can beat anybody in that division. What fights would you like Cash to be in next? I was thinking like Rob Grant, Williams, or a European title fight. Yeah. So me personally, I'd have him fight for the European title next against Signani, the Italian guy. He'll beat Signani, no doubt about it. And after Signani, I'd have him fight Liam Williams. That's what I would do with Felix Cash. Thoughts on Anthony Chihuahua ducking the Fury smoke? Listen, man, that fight's going to happen, in my opinion. I don't think anybody's really ducking anybody. I think it will happen. I think it will happen. If it doesn't, we shall see. We'll see who's to blame, but I think it will happen, bro. Yeah, big up to Mark every single time. Exactly, Haydar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought he was okay, but he was fantastic against Diaz. Great pressure, great combinations. Yeah, Navarrete is going to take some beating. Even, listen, in and around that weight class, even somebody who beats him is going to have to go through hell. He's one of those sort of fighters. He's going to take a lot out of a lot of fighters. I don't think Christopher Diaz will ever be the same again after that fight. Nobody's put a beating on Diaz like that. He beat the shit out of Christopher Diaz, man. I've got a feeling Rigold will be KO'd by John Real Casemiro. I think you're right, Nez Mendoza. The thing is with Rigondeaux now is his legs have gone. He's not fleet of foot anymore. He can't really get out of a way. So basically what he does now, he actually sits in the pocket a lot more. And he's much more available to be hit. Casemiro attacks at angles. He throws a lot of combinations, a lot of volume. I think more than likely you'll see him get on top of Rigondeaux and grind him down to stop him. But the only thing is, Rigondeaux does hit hard, especially at that weight. And if he catches Casemiro coming in, he could definitely knock him out. But I would favour Casemiro to stop Rigondeaux at this point. It's a good fight, though. Eubank should rematch Ty and Booth, not Ty and Booth's leftovers. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather see it, bro. I'd rather see it just for the banter alone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Colin. Yeah, go to European level, beat Signani. Then I would say, yeah, fight Liam Williams. That's what I would say. Yeah, BG London. Eubank Senior in the bubble would be hilarious. Eddie dropped the ball. Yeah, listen, Sam Jones right now is actually developing a nice stable. He's developing a nice stable of fighters. And, he's doing a good job for these guys. You can't deny that. He's getting his guys out there. He's getting his guys big fights. So, listen, he might be a bit annoying, but Sam Jones is definitely good at his job. I've not heard one of his fighters complain about him. So he's doing something right, Sam Jones. A Ty and Booth fight would get Eubank more pussy in views, indeed. Oh yeah, Navarrete he's a hell of a fighter, and there's no doubt about it, man. And again, in terms of pure entertainment and violence, Navarrete's your go-to guy. He goes in there to take your soul, basically. He'll beat it out of you. I like Navarrete a lot. Also, what weight is Cash on fight night? He's fucking massive. Yeah, he's a huge middleweight, Colin. He's a huge middleweight. Denzel Bentley's not small, and Felix Cash made him look tiny, to be honest. I was really impressed, actually, with Felix Cash in that fight. Lara doesn't move as much anymore either. He's fighting this weekend against Lamana, yeah. Yeah, Lara's legs have definitely slowed down as well, but Thomas Lamana really isn't anything special, to be honest. Lara should win that fight comfortably. If he doesn't, if he has any problems, he's basically well past it, to be honest. He's well past it. The bank holiday banger, Mutalani versus Edwards, Chisora versus Parker, Ruiz versus Ariola. Yeah, we got some good fights this weekend, man. Yeah, Del Boy, last 3 fights of Rigold seemed Father Time. Yeah, he's definitely slowed down a lot. He's slowed down a lot. But he can still punch. So, you got to be wary of that. He does still have good timing with that left hand, and if he catches you coming in, he can definitely hurt you, especially at that weight. So, I would still say he's dangerous, but he's a lot more vulnerable now, Rigondeaux. A lot more vulnerable. Thoughts on Pascal versus Jack 2 on the Mayweather undercard? Is that official, Jim Jones? Is that official? If it is, though, that's good news, because that first fight was damn underrated in 2019. Jean Pascal versus Badou Jack. Real good fight that was. And yeah, that fight's been a long time in the making. So yeah, I want to see that. I definitely want to see that. That's a good fight, Haydar. Marku versus Kumari. Good fight. Navarrete, the shovel uppercut is cool, yeah. He's got a real nice punch variety, Nez. He throws a lot of different shots, attacks at angles, nice combinations. He takes risks. Yeah, I like Navarrete. There's a video online of Eubank Senior before he started the act. His original voice is mad. I need to see that, AA Boxing and Blunts. I need to see that. I've never seen that, so I need to watch that video. I need to find it. If you can find it, let me know, bro. Can Jarrett Hurd become a champion at 154 again? I don't think so, Jim Jones. To me, in his last couple of fights, obviously the Julian Williams fight and even the fight coming back, he looks flat as a fighter. I think he might be dead at that weight. I think he needs to move up to 160, Jim Jones. Plus the fact that he's taken a lot of punishment already in his career. He's a face-first fighter that basically relies on size and size alone and punch output. So I'm not convinced by Jarrett Hurd at this point. I'm not convinced at all. I certainly think he needs to move up to middleweight. The Ruiz Arreola card is stacked with top Mexican fighters. Yeah, there's a couple of decent fights on the card, like Figueroa versus Abel Ramos. That should be a fun fight. Do you think the Selby brothers will ever be back as a force? I don't think so. Fat apples. Lee's not a lightweight for a start, and Andrew Selby, his life outside the ring isn't really what it should be. So I don't think you'll see much from either Selby brother from this point on. Yeah, the Jean Pascal, the Jack Pascal rematch is a good fight. Yeah, the first fight was really underrated. I agree, Jared. I agree. I really enjoyed that first fight. Very good fight. Very good fight. I've seen Tommy McCarthy in Belfast. Guy is huge, by the way. Wouldn't surprise me if he's 96, 97 kilograms on fight night. I walk around at 210 and am a few inches taller. He was huge. Yeah, he's definitely a big old boy, Tommy McCarthy. And yeah, he's fighting in a couple of weeks as well. He's fighting in a couple of weeks on Sky. Yeah, I think Badou Jack beat him as well. I think Badou Jack won that fight. I thought that was a borderline robbery, if I'm being honest. Don't get me wrong, it was competitive. I wouldn't call it a flat-out robbery, but I felt Jack, clearly won a competitive fight. I think it's Pascal versus Jack 2 and Jarrett Hurd versus Luis Arias. Yeah, Jarrett Hurd should take care of Arias comfortably, but good to see him back at least. Jared Thompson, who wins out of Cheeseman and Fowler? I hate to say it, but I've got a funny feeling Fowler knocks him out. Ted Cheeseman is far too face first, and say what you want about Fowler, but he can actually crack. I think his power is quite genuine, so I'd favour Anthony Fowler to knock him out. It's going to be Cheeseman could outwork Fowler, but I think he's going to walk onto something big and get knocked out. Big up to any fellow travellers in the chat. Stop the hate. Big up to JDev. Navalete's inverted pendulum step-in is terrifying. Bro, the guy closes the distance like a fucking great white shark. Guy's crazy, man. That guy beats you like you stole something from him. Real good fighter, man. Real good fighter. He's probably, I would say he's my favourite Mexican fighter, along with Julio Cesar Martinez. Yeah, the leverage and angles of Navarrete. Yeah, he's a fucking beast defensively. Listen, I mean, in terms of defense, he's not. There are holes there. He does get hit, but offensively, bro, Navarrete is one of the best fighters to watch in boxing. And like I said, at that weight class, I think he can beat anybody on his day. I really do. Okay, so he stole the Englishman act from his brother, Peter Eubank. Okay, so you found the video. This is the video of Eubank Sr. Talking how he used to talk. Okay, let me click that shit. I need to find it. Okay, I found it. Let me. I'll have a watch quickly. Chris Eubank's real voice. Oh yeah, I have seen that. AA. I've seen that before. He sounds the same, really, but just a bit less, forced, I guess. But it sounds the same to me, pretty much. I think Hurd gets stopped at 160, bro, even by Journeyman. For such a huge guy, it's weird how he can't really punch. Yeah. The thing is, though, his punch technique isn't the greatest, Jim Jones. It's all arm punches kind of thing. So he doesn't really get leverage into his shots. I think that's the problem with Jarrett Hurd. It's all volume with him. It's pure volume. I think Billum Smith might knock him out, Haydar. I think Tommy McCarthy's a better boxer, technically, but I think Billum Smith could knock him out. If you choose to live in the USA, which state would you live in? Texas or any other state in the South? For me personally, it would be Texas. That's my go-to if I went to America. Just the freedom in Texas seems a lot more. It just seems to be there, kind of thing. I'd like to go to Texas. I'd love to live in Texas. But yeah, I'd say Texas personally. I wouldn't go somewhere like New York or anywhere like that, to be honest. It'd be Texas for me, in the middle of nowhere. That's what I'd like anyway. It'd suit me out there, I think. Yeah, he's back this weekend, Jared Thompson. He's back on the pay-per-view undercard. A little what do you call it? A little tune-up fight. Yeah, big up to Fat Apples, man. It's heard on Showtime or Foxtel. No idea. No idea. He was on Showtime, I think. Okay, so Tommy McCarthy has Wladaszek has his mandatory. Yeah, not an easy fight for him. Yeah, Wladaszek is well past his best, but still, it's a massive step up in terms of name value. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree with that, Colin. I felt Vlasov was more clear, to be honest, but I felt Jack beat Pascal relatively clearly. Fitzgerald Fowler too. Who wins? I'm not sure, bro. I need to see Fitzgerald back in action. See what sort of shape he's in. Oh shit! Christoph Wladaszek's in prison right now. I never knew that. Yeah, Julio Cesar Martinez Aguilar. Yep, what a name. Great fighter as well, man. Great fighter as well. That guy's a fucking killer, Julio Cesar Martinez. That guy looks like he runs fucking dope for the cartel, man. Little fucking killer. Yeah, Metcalf. Yeah, he definitely hurt Cheeseman. He hurt Cheeseman a couple of times, Jared. And I think Fowler. I think Fowler can knock him out. All good, boxing bros. Just waiting patiently for Del Boy to storm Parker and Richards to get lucky against Bivol. Yeah, that's what I thought, bro. He sounded the same to me. I don't think it sounds similar. He sounds like a Cockney who works on a fruit and veg stall in a market. Oh dear. Jarrett Hurd is like a worse Joe Joyce at 154 to me. Adam Booth, Joe Joyce. Texans are very friendly, but don't go in the hottest months. It's unbearable, bro. I'd be fine, man. I could deal with it. I know I could. I'd adjust to it. I reckon. I think I'd adjust. I would live in California for sexual reasons. Yeah, California. Yeah, definitely. I'd want to visit. Wouldn't want to stay there though. Miami for the Cubans, and all the Puerto Ricans and whatnot. Dominicans, you know what I mean? So listen, I would definitely travel around, but in terms of living, I would say Texas. Yeah, Florida's not a bad shout either. Fat Apples. I wouldn't mind Florida. Yeah, Martinez made Charlie Edwards jump up 2 divisions to avoid the rematch. Yep, he did indeed. He did indeed. Yep. No, I don't recognise the IBO Hader personally. I don't recognise it. Solomon Dakare's debut on May 15th. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he looks like, Hader. I've heard a lot about him, but not really seen him. So we'll see. Dennis McCann refused to fight Liam Davis for the English title. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's an ideal fight for him right now, so I'm not sure what that's about. A lot of nice farm girls and Mexican girls in Texas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think I could do okay in Texas. Yeah, Dell would end up banging a cartel boss's daughter. Bro, I'd have to start working for the cartel. If I get tanned, I'd look like a Mexican anyway, kinda. So I think I could get away with it. Just learn some Spanish. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. My sister lives in Daytona Beach, Florida. So I'd like to visit Florida. I'd like to visit Louisiana for the food alone. I'd like to live in Texas. Where else would I want to go in America? Alaska is somewhere I'd like to go. I'm not a fan of the cold, but Alaska looks fucking beautiful to me. So there's all sorts of places I'd go in America. Shepherd of Sons, man, big up to you, sir. Hopefully you're keeping well. Big up to David Benavides and the chat. Parker's trainer change is more significant than Chisora's, as the latter changes every other year have to run. Yeah, that's a good point, and Andy Lee isn't exactly experienced when it comes to training, so that's going to be interesting to see how Joseph Parker looks in this fight. What sort of shapes are going to come in at? What's his style going to be? Is he going to be more aggressive? So that's going to be interesting to see what imprint Andy Lee's had on Parker, whether at all. It'll be interesting. I see Fowler outboxing Cheeseman, and depending on what Fowler has left late, Cheeseman can come back. Yeah, or Fowler stops him. I think Fowler stops him, bro. Oh, Dennis McCann beats Prince Patel. Easy work. Would be nice to hear you rank the sanctioning bodies in order of corruption from 1 to 5, laugh out loud. Well, I only really recognise 4 sanctioning bodies, so not including the IBO. I would say in terms of corruption, number 1, that's obviously a pick between the WBA and WBC. Maybe controversially, I'm going to go WBA. Number 2, WBC. Number 3, IBF. Number 4, WBO. That's what I would say. I know the IBF are good now, but they actually had a court case back in the day about corruption, illegal bribes and whatnot. So they're not squeaky clean either. Not historically, at least. I like Tennessee or Texas because of a barbecue. Yeah, Tennessee sounds like a good shout. Come to the West Coast, I've got you. The accent would bring the females and I'll do the rest. I'm surprised Bad Guy wouldn't like to go to Alabama. I'd like to go to Alabama. I'll check it out. Again, I always assume that the food down there will be super nice, like that country food. Do you know what I mean? That sort of nice country food. If you were managing Lyndon Arthur, what would you advise as a next step? He's now number 1 contender for WBO, but Warren wants him to take the Yard rematch. It's a good question, actually. That's a very good question. I mean, I'd want a final eliminator, so that wouldn't be Anthony Yard. Maybe Callum Johnson. He's recently won a WBO international belt. So if they could get that as an eliminator, that's the fight I would take, JDav. That's the fight I would take. Dyson Fury sucks. Tyson Fury sucks even more. Yes, I lived in Miami for a couple of years. People aren't the best, but nice scenery if you take my meaning. Thick Latinas, yes, sir. See, I could listen, man. Like Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, those sort of women, bruv. Yeah, mate. I'm in dreamland. I'm in dreamland. See, I like a bit of everything when it comes to women. I'm not like I don't necessarily have a specific type. I don't really have a specific type. There's beautiful women across the globe, man. And sometimes I fancy something a bit more exotic. Do you know what I mean? So, but contrary to belief, I like thick girls, not fat girls. JDav's out here causing a ruckus with these rumors about my my sexual life. Yeah, I mean, listen, I see what you're saying for apples. Like recently, I guess you would say WBO are better than the IBF. Sorry, the IBF are better than the WBO, but the IBF have their own history as well. They've got their own history when it comes to corruption. But yeah, this is really the main point here. I think the IBF are the least, but that's not saying much. Exactly, they're all terrible in their own ways. That could be a good video, Hader. That could be a very good video topic. I can't remember them off the top of my head, so I would need to actually look at all the pay-per-views and rank them from best to worst. That's a good video topic, though. The worst pay-per-view I can remember in recent years is Bellew Cleverly 2. That was pretty bad. What's your thoughts on Champion Emeritus? I believe boxers who come back from retirement are cutting the line. I believe that those who come back from retirement should get back on the line. I agree. I think there could be certain circumstances, like if a guy is legitimately like an all-time great, then I think you can make exceptions. But for the most part, it's bullshit. I mean, Tony Bellew being the WBC Emeritus champion when he vacated and fought David Haye, that was a joke. He got Champion Emeritus for beating Ilunga Makabu, who's a very good fighter, and BJ Flores, and he's Champion Emeritus. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think Cheeseman would actually stop Fowler. Cheeseman's meaner and has cleaner work on the inside. Even though it seems Fowler manages his energy better, I think Ted's stamina is better. Yeah, it's a good fight, bro, Jiho Park. It's a good fight. I think it's very competitive. It's almost 50-50, but I've got this gut instinct that Fowler knocks him out. Eventually, Cheeseman's going to walk into a shot that he can't recover from. And he's been hurt a few times. He got hurt against Metcalf. He got hurt against Carson Jones. So he got buzzed up against Sergio Garcia. So I think he will be knocked out eventually. And I think that Fowler could be the guy to do it. The PBC does not want Andrade on their platform. Yeah, I heard something about that, Boxing Learner. What's his name? Tom Brown or whatever his name is? He said that. But again, man, I want to see Charlo versus Andrade. I'd rather see that than fucking Charlo versus Maciel, whatever his name is. Who wants to see Maciel on fucking PBC? So that's nonsense, man. Listen, Andrade's not the greatest fighter to watch. I think he's overrated. But nevertheless, these guys should fight him. I have lived in New York City, Miami, Burlington, Vermont, and Charlottesville, Virginia, all good places. The US is generally a great country. Oh yeah, 100%, man. I don't believe like the way the media portrays the USA. Obviously, every country's got bad things and good things, but primarily, you're very lucky to live in a country like the USA. Yeah, problem is if you move to Alabama, you might go to a restaurant and find Marcellus Wilder spitting in your burgers. Yeah, Puerto Rican girls are sexy but crazy. Yeah, I think I can tame them. Probably not, but bro, I'd definitely give it a go. Yeah, Slavic blonde women, especially Ukrainian or Czech women. Yep. Again, I can't argue with that. I cannot argue. Yeah, Latina Hispanic women are the tastiest along with the food. Exactly, man. If you've got a nice Latina with a fat ass and can cook, you're doing something right in life. Have you reassessed Dennis McCann after his last couple of fights? He's looked less than stellar. Yeah, I mean, he's not looked as good in his last two fights, JDAV. That much is definitely for certain. But I think they are good fights for his future development. I believe he does have natural ability. He's athletically gifted. He's got nice reactions. He's got decent power. I think he's a good prospect. I think he needs those sort of fights right now, to be honest. I wouldn't be too concerned, but, it does make you question it a little bit. But I think he's a good prospect. Been to America, to be honest, there is 10 other countries I want to see before Vegas, which I want to see, yeah. I wouldn't mind going to Vegas, but it's not exactly a place high on my priority list, if I'm being completely honest. Did you see Eddie's comments about Cleverly Bellew was the worst, in your opinion? Which is the worst? Yeah, okay, yeah. So Eddie Hearn even said that, yeah. Yeah, you like thick girls. Okay, Del. This whole Del boy likes fat girls thing is not going to go away, is it? I wouldn't be seen dead with a fat girl, just a thick girl. Yeah, Vegas flights are cheap. Not from the UK, man. Not from the UK, man. One day I'll have to go. One day. One day. Yeah, IBF have the worst mandatories most of the time. Remember Jojo Dan, Busy A, Porky. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Yeah, they don't have the greatest mandos. Yeah, exactly, man. Don't think I've heard your stance on franchise belts and bridgerweights. Sorry if I missed your video on them. Yeah, I mean, listen, franchise belts, I'm completely against. Full stop. Point blank. Period. It creates too much. It convolutes each division. So lightweight, for example, that whole situation is very convoluted, very very complicated for the average casual fan. It's not good for the sport whatsoever. All that's good for is for WBC getting another sanctioning fee. So the whole franchise title scenario is complete bullshit. As for Bridgerweights, I don't really like the idea of it, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, if there's a good fight in that division, I'll watch it. So I'm more upset about franchise belts than Bridgerweight. Andrade's more entertaining than Lara, but he's on a pay-per-view. Yeah, I don't mind Lara. I don't mind Lara though. I find Lara more. I find Lara more interesting to watch. Put it that way. Yeah, Andrade's similar to Lara. High risk, not much reward. Andrade has yeah, exactly. Andrade's got a belt though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm not a big fan of Andrade. I think he's overrated to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, you know, these guys should still fight him. Take that belt from him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy is the best in the division. I don't think he is personally. I think Charlo beats him. I think Golovkin beats him, but I want to see it. I want to see these fights. It's all well and good me thinking that, but at the end of the day, I want to see someone fight Andrade at middleweight, one of the other top fighters, whether it be Golovkin, Murata, Charlo, even someone like Munguia, or even Eubank Jr. Any one of these fights will do me. What's your opinion on David Hayes saying Chris Eubank Jr. can knock out Gennady Golovkin? Laugh out loud. You said it right there, laugh out loud. Believe it or not, though, this version of Eubank Jr. and this version of Golovkin, I actually think it would be quite competitive for a certain period of time, but I would still favour Golovkin to win that fight. I would say Golovkin outpoints Eubank Jr. For some reason, I don't think he'll stop him. I do think Eubank Jr.'s genuinely got a good chin. Yeah, Colombian and Venezuelan girls. I can't argue with that, official. I cannot argue with that. See, that's one thing. Us here in Europe, we don't really get that exotic, you know, Latina vibe here, and that's one thing I'm kind of I kind of want to experience before I die. Some crazy fucking Hispanic woman. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I should go through that in life. Big up to Carlos Mendoza, by the way. Salute to you, sir. I felt Cash Farouk beat him, to be honest, Haydar. I felt Farouk won that fight. But if they rematch again, I think I would favour Lee McGregor. I think Lee McGregor actually looks like he's coming on a long way. He's improved. So I favour Lee to beat him in a rematch, but I felt Cash Farouk beat him in the first fight. Okay, Lara left Ronnie Shields. With his next fight at 160, I bet PBC will make Lara versus Jamal. Mixed feelings about that, not going to lie. Yeah, we'll see how Lara looks in this fight. I know he's fighting a fucking bowl of cereal in cornflakes, but we'll see how Lara looks. If he looks good, then listen, if Lara fights Charlo, then whatever. It is what it is, man. I'll watch it. Yeah, Ryan's feeling himself too much. Ryan Garcia, I think so as well. This whole... we was talking about this the other day. If he's not mentally ready to fight Fortuna, he should be stripped of his title, his interim title. That's how I see it anyway. I'm pondering if the WBC and the PBC have fallen out since all of the PBC heavyweights been moved into the WBA rankings from the WBC, or is it a cooling off period after Marco looking bad over the White saga? I'm not sure, bro, Fat Apples. It could just be a big coincidence. I'm not really sure, though. I've not really looked too much into it. Did you see Canelo exposing Oscar De La Hoya? Yeah, I did. And listen, I'm not a big fan of Canelo, but he was right with what he said. He was 100% right. Golovkin would stop Eubank unless he bottles it like he did with Groves. Maybe, yeah. I think Eubank Jr. will actually survive. I think he'll survive. And I actually do believe he'll give Golovkin some competitive rounds at this stage. Listen, if this fight happened when it was supposed to happen, Golovkin knocks him out, stops him, in my opinion. But now, I think Eubank actually sees the distance. But he can't get past that jab. He cannot get past that jab of Golovkin. And that jab's going to be the key. Yeah. But yeah, big up to Shepherd of Sons. Salute to you, man. And big up to Official as well. No, I've not seen any of it, Marcus. Not seen any of it. What do you think of Teofimo Lopez? I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's only going to get better theoretically if he continues to be dedicated. He does kind of annoy me a little bit. I think he's a little bit cringy, but definitely a good fighter. Definitely a good, talented fighter. Go to Barcelona, you'll get that. I've been to the outskirts and seen some curvy Hispanic girls. Could be Barcelona then. Could be Barcelona. Golovkin versus Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be like Chris Eubank versus Watson. Interesting take. Interesting take. Oh, big up to Mad Chad, by the way. Salute to Mad Chad. What do you make of Tank Davis running scared, moving up a division, or is it about time he stopped failing weight? Yeah, I think, listen, man, Tank Davis right now, his career's like, it seems to have no direction to it, to be honest. And this Mario, what's his name? I forgot his fucking name. Mario Barrios, that's it. He's fighting Mario Barrios next at 140. I think that's an okay fight. I think Barrios can actually give him problems, you know, due to the sheer size and reach that Barrios brings. And he can punch a bit as well. Decent fundamentals, you know, does the basics well. I actually think Barrios is going to be a hard fight for Tank Davis. I look at it like this. Tank's going to 140. We know that Tank can't fuck with someone like Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, or Prograis. He can't beat the elite guys at 140. Can he beat a fringe top 10 level guy like Barrios? I'm not entirely convinced. I think it's a hard fight. So yeah, I'd rather see Tank fight at 130 or even 135, but I don't see this as a bad fight, to be honest. I don't see it as a bad fight. Yeah, if Fortuna doesn't get the Haney fight this year, he's got some serious bad luck. Yeah, I would as well, Minimax. I think I'd pick Eubank to beat Murata, especially if it's in the UK. I think Eubank Jr. is one of those guys who is. I think he's a bit better than people give him credit for. Again, he's not cream of a crop. He's not elite, but he's a genuine top 10 contender at 160. Like towards the lower level maybe, but he's a genuine top 10 contender. Like when you look at it, even the fights he lost, he actually gave Billy Joe a hard fight. I know Billy Joe wasn't in great condition, but still gave him a hard fight. And yeah, he got comprehensively beaten by George Groves, but physically, you know, Eubank Jr. put a lot of damage on George Groves physically. He's not an easy guy to fight, Eubank Jr. He's not. Eubank Jr. Golovkin's going to be an all-time great war. I think it'll be a war. I do believe it will be a war, but I think Golovkin wins still. Cambosos beat Selby, in my opinion. He won that fight, but he didn't look great doing it though. Hader. Oh, what do you think about Belanga's last performance? Can he be a threat to the top guys? Listen, man, I think it's the fight he needed in his career. He got some rounds in against a guy who was stubborn, tough, durable. I think he needed that sort of fight. But to me, Edgar Berlanga is he's not a blue chip prospect. He's not somebody I would say, wow, this guy's going to be a world champion, no doubt about it. I think there's a lot there he needs to improve on. He loads up far too often. He kind of comes forwards in straight lines. He does the same thing over and over. He's a strong, powerful, big kid, and he can punch hard, but I don't see much in terms of refinement, in terms of his skill, to be honest. And in that 8-round fight, he was kind of gassing towards the end. So I think there's a lot there that needs to be improved with Edgar Berlanga. I mean, I think there's better prospects at 168. Bektimir Melikuziev, I think is levels above Edgar Berlanga. David Morrell Jr., another guy I think who's levels above Edgar Berlanga. So Belanga's decent. He's a fun fighter, but there's a lot of improvements that need to be made. A lot of improvements. By the way, lads, if you could smash the like, be much appreciated. Be much appreciated. I keep on forgetting Tank isn't the same age as Garcia and Haney. Dude's like 5 years old and needs to start stepping up in competition. I totally agree. People still talk about Tank like he's 22, but he's 26 now. He's basically my age, a little bit younger. I'm 27 next Wednesday, but he's basically my age, and people are still calling this guy a kid. So you're right, man. But yeah, Tank right now, his career is really not being managed correctly, in my opinion. Do you think Tank keeps Do you think if Tank keeps switching, it'll burn him out? Potentially, yeah. If he's yo-yoing, if he's going up and down in weight constantly, yeah, potentially. I've got the feeling that they've had enough of Tank. Now they probably think, go to 140. If you lose, fuck off. And if you win, they'll spin it and make him out to be pound for pound. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Do you think Devin Haney has enough boxing experience to be a top 10 boxer? In what sense? You mean pound for pound? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I think Devin is a good prospect. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's going to get a lot better. But it's too early to say, but I do rate him. I do rate Devin Haney. Munguia versus Selecki has now been rescheduled for June 19th in Texas. Bektimir Melikuziev versus Gabriel Rosado also on the card. Yeah, I like that card, J-Dav. I think Rosado's a good test for Melikuziev. And Selecki Munguia is going to be a fun fight. So I like that card. Thoughts on Austin Williams dissing Eddie Hearn? Yeah, Austin Williams has come out though and said that he's been going through a hard time mentally and apologized for his actions. So there's really not too much to read there, in my opinion. I just think Austin Williams is going through a rough time by looks of it. Berlanga, I believe, would get busted up by the names he called out. I admire his confidence. Yeah, listen, it's good that he wants to fight the best, Mad Chad. We always want to hear that as fight fans, but in terms of technically and whatnot, I think he's got a long way to go. I really do. I think he's got a long way to go. Yeah, that's a good fight. Conlon versus Baluta, that's a good fight. That's tomorrow night. Yeah, good fight. What do you think about Ali Akhmedov, and who do you want to see him fight next? Yeah, listen, man, he got beat by Carlos Gongora in a real good fight. He was actually winning that fight on the card until he got knocked out. So I think he could be a good fringe contender at very best. Ali Akhmedov. But who do I want to see him fight next? I mean, maybe someone like John Ryder will be a good fight for Ali Akhmedov. A highly ranked guy. You know, if he beat John Ryder, he's right back in the swing of things. So maybe John Ryder for Ali Akhmedov. Teofimo's skipping the process, in my opinion. He's trying to be a pay-per-view star right now. I think that would backfire. Yeah, he needs to do a bit more work, boxing learner, before he's like pay-per-view. Yeah, Amo Williams is the latest fighter to say he's stepping away to address his mental health. It's a good excuse. There's a lot of fighters who are kind of getting on that bandwagon right now. That's a good boxing match, Minimax. That's a real good fight. Barrios is a harder puncher. I think naturally a stronger guy, but I think Pedraza's a better boxer. I think that'll be a close fight either way. I think I'd lean towards Pedraza, but I wouldn't be too confident, quite frankly. I'd lean towards Pedraza, but it's. Or would I actually? I'm not sure. I think maybe Barrios. I think Barrios on points. I think Barrios on points. Barrios versus Akhmedov really exposed Barrios. That's the only reason Gervonta took the fight. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. Akhmedov won that fight, in my opinion. I felt Akhmedov beat him. Yeah, Berlanga needs more time to cook. He doesn't double up or throw jabs that often. Needs to work the body more, and he's too flat. I believe Gongora and Suryagin beat Berlanga right now. I agree, Jiho Park. And it's funny you mentioned that. To me, Edgar Berlanga reminds me of a bigger Rolly Romero in terms of his style. Loads up on everything, doesn't really set too much up. It's all sheer aggression, sheer strength. There's no real science behind it. So I think as it stands right now, I think Berlanga is an accident waiting to happen. But he is still young, so I'm not going to rule him out or anything like that. I'm not going to rule him out. But he's definitely been overhyped a little bit, as Hamilton Steele said. I'm not sure, Haydar. I've not seen it. I've not really seen too much from Eddie recently. Yeah, out of Garcia, Lopez, and Haney, I think Haney is the most disciplined. He's got the hunger. I think that's fair. Like Devin Haney, I've never seen Devin Haney out of shape whatsoever. He's always in shape, Devin. He's always training. And that's obviously a good sign for longevity. So I'd agree with that. Jake Paul is a fake boxer, and I hate how this man does not take boxing serious, like he's a fucking disgrace to the boxing community. This pussy only fights celebrities and not real boxers. Yeah, that is all very true. But the way I see it is boxing's got itself to blame for the likes of Jake Paul invading, because if boxing was giving us what we want, what we deserve as fans, year in, year out, then there would be no place for someone like Jake Paul. The reason why Jake Paul has got in boxing is because of how fractured and fragmented the sport is, and how often it doesn't deliver. I think it's more of a symptom of where boxing's at, to be honest. The difference between Amo Williams and Ryan Garcia is laughable. It's clear to anyone with eyes when someone is genuinely mentally unwell. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, Chudinov versus Akhmedov, that's a good fight. Zach Parker, John Ryder, good fight. Have you heard the rumours circulating that Hrgovic and Usyk have never been dropped in the boxing ring, and that they've both sparred guys like Klitschko and Wilder who can punch? Yeah, Hrgovic, to my knowledge, has never been dropped. Certainly not in any fight. Alexander Usyk has been dropped, though. He got dropped in the amateurs by Beterbiev by a body shot. Oh, Rolly Romero, yeah, he's not. I don't rate him at all. Pedraza's a live dog in a Tank rematch at 140. Big up Del is Michael Hunter on the juice. I think most of these guys are crazy D3, to be honest with you. I think most of these guys are on something. So more than likely, yes, but the whole WBC VADA thing is actually overblown. You know, ultimately, Michael Hunter's fighting in the IBF in an eliminator. So he's doing his own thing on that side. So I'm not really, the whole WBC clean boxing program, he's not looking at the WBC right now, Michael Hunter. So I think that whole story to me is a bit overblown. But yeah, he to answer your question, more than likely, yeah. Charlo versus Jamel. So Jamel versus Jamal at 154 in their primes. Do you know what? I think Jamal probably wins. I would favour Jamel Charlo over Tim Tszyu, but listen, he's a very good prospect, Tim Tszyu. Well, he's basically turned into a contender now, Tim Tszyu. So But I would take Jamel Charlo. I'd probably favour Brian Castano as well. But he's a good prospect. He's only getting better. I say Lara. Do you mean that? Sorry, Bump of K. Do you mean like all time, or do you mean like right now? Jake Paul is right now as the most popular US fighter. It's true. It's true. I know that's L-Dog. I know that's L-Dog. But if it is Johnny, man, you're blocked here, bruv. We're not going to block you, but you're done here, man. So just don't talk to me. James Toney versus Carlos Monzon. What about Monzon versus Canelo? I've got Carlos Monzon in both fights, to be honest, Razor. I've got Monzon in both fights. Both on points. Yeah, it's definitely a fake account. I think it's L-Dog, Shepherd of Sons. But yeah, big up to L-Dog. Salute to L-Dog. Yeah, Jake Paul's fighting tomato cans no different to any other fighter with a similar record. That's true, you know. That is true. Yes, big up to Tony Boswell. Salute to Tony. Big up to Tony, man. Yeah, thanks for the contribution, Tony, man. It's much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, not seen you for a little while, Tony, man. So hopefully you're keeping well. Big up to Akaka TV. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you. Yeah, exactly. Usyk's been dropped by Beterbiev. Yeah, to the body. Yeah, exactly, Brown Gone One. I'll keep on saying it. Give me more celebrity fights since these boxers want to act like divas. I don't care. 100%, bro. Okay, L-Dog. Hopefully you're well, L-Dog. Hopefully you're well. Oh, dear. Yeah, Rolly won't get any better. His trainer and his team are all yes men. When they robbed Marines, the trainer just said he fought like a bitch. No responsibility for a terrible performance. Yeah, exactly, bro. The guy's a swinger. Rolly Romero. He'll probably get knocked out by fucking James Tennyson. In all honesty. Canelo, UD, or late stoppage. The sport is fractured mainly due to PBC. They've even stated how they want their own sanctioning bodies, belts, and fights. Matchroom, Ryabinski, Sauerland, and to a smaller extent, Top Rank trying to save boxing. The PBC are, more than likely the worst culprits. I'll say that. But Top Rank, Matchroom, they've dealt their fair share of fuckery as well, to be honest. But once again, appreciated Tony Boswell, man. Much appreciated. Oscar Valdez, Robson Conceição for August. Do you know what? I like Robson Conceição's style. I find him really entertaining, but I think he'll get knocked out, to be honest. I think he'll get knocked out. Okay, all-time middleweights. This is my personal rankings. Yeah, it's not really rankings, just my 5 favorites / best, I guess. Carlos Monzon, number 1. Sugar Ray Robinson, number 2. Hagler, number 3. Number 4. Who's number 4? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Bump of K. I ain't sure, But Carlos Monzon is my favorite. Yeah, it's not the real Johnny, man. It's not the real Johnny. Because if it was for real Johnny, he'll be cussing me out. So I know it's not for real Johnny. But yeah, salute to L-Dog, man. Yeah, plus the sanctioning bodies are refusing the fights we want to see because they are being paid off to protect an O. Yep. It could be Pigeon. It could be Pigeon. Yeah, big up to Phil as well. Salute to Phil. Because the man's a snake, Danilo. He's a snake. It's as simple as that. There's all the videos are online if you wanna research it. But yeah, essentially, again, I've said my piece on Johnny, man. I'm personally done with the guy. I ain't gonna deal with anybody who stabs you in the back like that. And obviously, what he said about Gonzalo and his child, trying to deflect from that cause, to to try and take. Yeah, I mean, the guy is just meh. He's a piece of shit, man, as Pigeon would say. I've just lost interest in it, quite frankly. No problem, anytime. Always enjoy the content and conversations. Was sick for a few weeks, but feeling much better now. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, I've not been following it, bro. I try and ignore that sort of content. To be honest, it's just depressing. Either way, man, if someone's lost their life and whatnot, so it's fucked, man. It's fucked. It really is, man. I just avoid that sort of content now. I avoid the news. I avoid mainstream coverage of things. I just do my thing. I don't watch TV anymore, to be honest with you. Yeah, Minimax, it ain't the real one, bro. It's not the real one. But if it is, again, you're not welcome here, bruv. Like I said, you're a snake. You preach loyalty. You say you're a mafia wannabe, but you stab your best friend in the back. Where's the loyalty in that, man? Yeah, Roy Jones, in terms of head-to-head, is a great middleweight, but his body of work at middleweight wasn't all that strong. Bernard Hopkins is definitely up there with longevity, but I just wasn't a big fan of Hopkins, to tell you the truth. I wasn't a big fan. Yeah, Carmen Basilio. Yeah, I just love the whole aura that he brought to the ring. He was a crazy South American, Argentinian fucking killer. A wonderful jab, great boxer puncher, aggressive, powerful, good resume as well. Just a great fighter all round. Great fighter. 100%, man. 100% Akaka TV, if that's how you say your name. Straight facts. It's me, Del. What did I do to you? Hi, L-Dog. But if it's not L-Dog, you know what you did, man. You're a fucking snake, bruv. You're a snake for a start. You put your own priorities above a child. You deflected from a fucking great cause to try and cash out yourself, which in itself is a fucking scummy move, which I'll cut you off for. But not only you did that, you then accused Mark of basically scamming people of hundreds of dollars. So you stabbed your best friend in the back, somebody you say you respect and whatnot, and you try and deflect from a great cause for a child who's in need, who's sick, and you took away from that. So I'm not going to associate with someone like that. It's as simple as that. Simple as that, as Tony Bellew would say. Yeah, any thoughts on why a huge country like France, who pumps a lot of money into their sports and highly populated, but seem to really suck at boxing? It's just not their thing, man. There's not really a fucking big infrastructure there for boxing. Maybe if Tony Yoka does well, that's going to inspire kids to take it up. But they don't really have that kind of love for boxing. Bro, I know it's L-Dog, yeah, but I'm going to humour you. I've had what, 3 cans of beer right now. I know that's not enough to get drunk, and I've had 2 spliffs, and I'm fine. I am perfectly coherent. I know what I'm saying. So listen, man, it's no excuse, man. What's the saying? A drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. I think that's the saying. So I love these MXBC guys, by the way, man. These guys are fucking hilarious. I'll tell you what, actually, I got the BC wrong. I thought at the time, I didn't really know them all that well, to be honest, but I felt, you know what, these guys are going a little too hard. But you know, this last week here, I've binged their content when I've been at work, and it's got me through the work week so far, man. So big up to you guys. No, because if that's you, Johnny, you wouldn't know how early it is in New Zealand. Oh dear. Yes, it is bait, JB Low. It is bait. Yeah, Canal Plus put money into Yoka. Exactly. Yeah, he's a big name in France. Tony Yoka. And yeah, I saw you, L Dog, earlier. I saw you in the Discord earlier, L Dog. So hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Funny how Johnny, sorry, besides the MXBC, only insulted me directly, but none of the channels with a couple of thousand subs because he's hoping them to give him a platform. Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what it is, official. That's what it is. See, me personally, yeah. Obviously, if somebody asks me the question, I'll be upfront and say, but me personally, I can only speak for myself. There's no way back for me. What you do to what he did personally was unforgivable. And obviously, since then, I've watched this MXBC content, and I never really knew the situation with Two Hands because I don't really watch his content. But I looked back at that as well, and what he said about Two Hands' daughter, I'm not even going to repeat it because it's fucking disgusting. I never knew that happened. I knew they had a beef. I knew who Two Hands was, but I never really knew what was going on. I don't really watch those sort of videos, to tell you the truth. But what he said about Two Hands' daughter was fucking disgusting in itself, and fucking, let's be honest, extremely suspect. I wouldn't have that thought when it come to a kid. Yeah, big up. Yeah, exactly. Mad Chad. Thank you for the real boxing talk. Get well, Mateo. 100%, bruv. 100%. And yeah, man, that's a good point. Let me 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. And if you guys haven't heard, Gonzalo, a member of the YTBC, he speaks quite frequently on the BDA podcast. You know, a US veteran living in the Philippines. He recently had a baby boy, was born a couple of months ago, just over a couple of months ago. And he's still in the hospital in the Philippines, not very well. Currently has a trachea tube. So if you guys could, you could check out the GoFundMe, and if you have a few spare shekels, man, just support the cause, man. Gonzalo's a lovely guy. He's always shown me a lot of respect. You know, he comments on the channel time and time again. I've spoken to him on Discord quite a few times. I've spoken to him a couple of times personally as well on like boxing shows, and he's a real nice guy, man. One of the most enthusiastic people in the boxing community and very knowledgeable. But and yeah, just a genuine, really nice guy, Gonzalo. So if you could, you know, check out the GoFundMe, even if you just share that link with other people who may be not aware. That's all we really ask, man. Okay, he's got multiple burner accounts. See, I've only got 2 channels. No, I don't use my Discord chat anymore. I just go on other people's chats these days. Michael Van Gerwen. The MXBC, the Mexican boxing community. I'm not going to repeat what he said about Mr. Two Hands' daughter. I'm going to stop engaging you, L-Dog. I'm having too much fun. Yeah, that's another one. That's another a dangerous person in the YTBC. I'm not going to drop a link in the chat, L-Dog. Tell you what, if you come back this weekend, then I might let you on the channel. You can say your piece. How about that? How about that? I can interrogate you. If it's you and you open your channel this weekend, maybe I might allow you on my channel for an interrogation. Potentially. Yeah, what do you think of Caballero's future? No high-level fight since Chisora, relatively young age, but one fight per year max, and got denied a title shot. Is he scared? Has he got a chance on the title? Nah, personally, no. I don't think he can beat any champion in the heavyweight division. What he is a good European level fighter. He's tricky. He's awkward. He can box, and yeah, he'll give certain guys problems. But I would say he's on the same sort of level as Otto Alin, kind of thing. That's what I would say. Exactly, Jeff. Lucieta. Yeah, deplorable acts. Listen, man, I'm very tolerant of people. I let people make mistake after mistake after mistake. But the way I look at things is, you got to give people enough rope so that they can hang themselves. And once they get to that stage, I'm not going to cut you down. I'm going to let you swing, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And there's no way back. That's how I see the situation. I know that's a fucked up analogy, but that's how I see it. Thoughts on Joseph Parker being made an official gypsy by Fury? KO incoming? Yeah, I'm not reading too much into that. Johnny's 30 years old, still lives with his parents, too lazy to get a job, has no girlfriend or kids. All he does is sit around getting drunk, begging for money, and he calls himself a gangster. 100%. Any update on the second channel? Yeah, I'm recording a video. So, listen, bruv. It's being recorded. I've nearly done all of the audio now for that video. I've got a couple of bits to do. Once the audio is done, that's really the hardest, or not the hardest part, but the most time-consuming part. After that, it's really putting the video together and uploading it. But yeah, once it's ready, I'll link you guys to the channel. I'll push it and I'll upload it. But it's coming relatively soon. Relatively soon. I want to finish the audio this weekend. That's my plan. I've got a couple of bits left to do. Once I've done that, I'll then start putting the video together. Again, the video is not going to be super high quality to start with. I need to do a lot of learning. And depending on where the channel goes, if it goes somewhere, I'll actually invest and, buy some good video editing software and shit like that. I've got ideas for what I want to do. It's going to be based on reality. So like fucked up events, what's happened in real life. And we'll be covering those sort of topics, mainly internet-based topics. So things that have appeared online. I don't want to give too much away. There might be like an iceberg video if you're familiar with that term. So we might do an iceberg video of disturbing content where we list like loads of disturbing content on the internet and we kind of grade it tier by tier from like bad to worse. There's all sorts of ideas I've got in mind. All sorts of ideas I've got in mind. Yeah, BG London. I moved out at 18. And for the first 18 months or so, I was fucking sleeping on a mattress, bro. I was sleeping on a mattress. Do you know what I mean? And I still managed to fucking draw girls. So there's no excuse, man. I could draw girls on a fucking mattress, mate. Duck coming in with the insults. I've constructed like the worst fucking spliff known to man. This thing's falling apart, man. This thing's falling apart. I'm losing my fucking touch. Jesus Christ, look at the state of that. See, I'm still not inebriated yet. LR1202BB. Yo, Johnny, you sad fat piggy. I've heard you're heavier than Andy Ruiz Jr. Jesus. But yeah, man, I'm listening. In all seriousness, though, I'm just done with that whole scenario. I mean, there's really no coming back from that, is there? There's really no coming back from that. Only thing really, I wish I'd done my due diligence a bit earlier, but whatever, is what it is. Use OCB instead of Rizzler. Yeah, it's a good shout. See, I'm not a master when it comes to building spliffs. I'm really not. I'm not that great at all. I can barely roll a fucking cigarette, let alone a fucking spliff or a joint. This weekend's fights is going to be sponsored by Steakums and Hungry Man's TV dinners, for fuck's sake. Yeah, bad guy. BG London got thrown out at 17. He got thrown to the wolves, and he made it. He made it. I don't know why that comment made me fucking laugh. By the way, which one is Doughboy? Is that El Jefe? Is that Coco? Is that L Dog? Is that MMA Champ? Or is it a different dude? Because I've subscribed to your channel, bro. I've subbed to your channel, so... Yeah, if you want to find out Jay Bilo, just type his name in on YouTube, Johnny Boy Boxing or something like that, and you'll find like the gist of it. Oh, you're your own guy. Okay, cool. I wondered, that's all. Facts. To be fair though, JDav, I fucking slacked this week. Like last week, I barely touched a drop until the weekend. Just kind of got boozed up, which was quite eventful in itself. But this week I've kind of slacked. I've had like 3 days this week I've drunk. So, but again, do you hear me fucking spouting random shit on fucking stream and doing dumb shit? I've had like 2 spliffs. Gonna have a third in a bit. I don't feel, this is shit weed as well, but I feel fine, man. Yeah, exactly. Apology. It gets kind of old. AJ just posted this on Instagram. Matchroom Boxing, best promotional company in the world. Eddie Hearn, thank you for all your efforts over the years. Best promoter in the world, hands down. Could be a hint. Could be getting the fight. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so you left. You wasn't thrown out, BG London. You wasn't thrown out. Facts. I think AJ Morningstar could be my ex. Yeah, I've seen MMA Champs videos, but look at Duck in here with the emojis. I'd say Muhammad Ali beats Rocky Marciano. I'd say on points. Just too long, too tall, too agile. I think it'd outbox him. Marciano would have success in certain periods, but I think Ali's just too good of a boxer. Rip to Rashid Al Swayzat. Who's that, bro? Yeah, you guys are going in, man. Yeah. People are not going to let this go. And, nor should they really. Nor should they, but again, I've had my say on the whole situation at the end of the day. And I'm comfortable with that. Once I make that sort of decision, I'm not going to go back. If anybody else does, that's on them at the end of the day. But me personally, no, I'm not going to go back. And what I will say is this: in all seriousness, if you are listening, the man in question, the way I see it is you really got three choices. And if you come back, you can just ignore this and just, accept it for what it is, accept my position, and just go about your business, which will be best for you, really. The second option will be to make one of those videos, rah, 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 you'll knock me out, you'll do this, you'll do that, just to make yourself feel better. That's your second option. Or the third option is you can actually really try and do something about it. They're your options, but the first option is a lot more stress-free. So that's all I'd say on the whole situation, and that's me done on it, quite frankly. Okay, another boxer that passed. Yeah, that's sad, man. Oh, was that the guy? That was the guy in the amateur tournament. I do know who you're talking about, Jeff. I do know. Yeah, Estrada Ioka. I might take Ioka in a real close fight. I don't think anybody's getting knocked out though. Apologies, willing to forgive. Listen, bro, I'm real tolerant with people, but at the same point, bro, there's certain things that I find it hard to really accept apologies for. Like stabbing your friend in the back. Why would I associate with somebody like that? Like, if he can do that to one person, he could obviously do that to me. So I'm not going to put myself in that position. Yeah, the amateur. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's sad. And it goes to show, man, people assume that amateur boxing's a lot more safe and whatnot. But listen, you can get seriously hurt in amateur boxing. Even in sparring, you can get seriously hurt when it comes to boxing. I think it was Jose Luis Castillo's kid. He got seriously hurt in sparring a few years ago. I think he was in a coma, actually. So it can go badly wrong. Boxing's definitely not to be fucked around with. To be fair, though, apology, man, it's in your name, innit? It's in your name. But listen, if that's your position, bro, that's up to you, man. I'm not gonna, say what you should do or shouldn't do. That's your personal sovereignty at the end of the day. But I'm just saying that's my position. You know what my position is. I'm surprised Malik Scott didn't go down when Wilder was hitting the pads. Yeah, took a dive like he did last time. Larry Holmes, George Foreman, prime for prime. I'd say Larry Holmes, Doughboy. I'd say Larry Holmes, bro. I think Larry's jab, his movement would be too much. I think George could get a knockdown, similar type to like how Ernie Shavers knocked down Larry Holmes. But ultimately, I take Larry Holmes to outbox George Foreman. Maybe even stop him late. And it's funny you say that as well. I think every version of Larry Holmes kind of wins. Like even like old Larry Holmes versus old George Foreman. I would take old Larry Holmes to win that fight as well. To tell you the truth, I'll take old Larry Holmes to beat old George Foreman. Okay, so you exposed Johnny's fake girlfriend in his server long ago, and that's when I found out who he really was. Listen, this is not really to do with Johnny, but if you encounter a person who lies about pointless things in life, then that person has something severely wrong with them. If they're lying about random shit that doesn't really need to be lied about just to make themselves look better, especially on the internet, that person is a bit touched in the head, maybe not where they want to be in life. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, but the whole lying thing and Yeah, this is a good point. Open-ended forgiveness is a weakness, not a strength. You have to draw a line. Yeah, it's about maintaining frame. That's how I view life, right? We all have our boundaries and lines in life. If you let people cross those lines, then that's when you encounter problems. And that's how I view life. My tolerance is a lot higher than most people's. I don't get offended by. I get offended by very little. I'm not one of these guys who advocates for cancel culture or things like that. But and I'm not saying Johnny should even be cancelled. If he wants to come back, fair enough. But he's going to have to deal with what comes with that. But what I'm saying is, listen, if you say something that I don't agree with and it crosses that line, I'm going to cut you off. It's as simple as that. If you say something or do something that crosses that line, you're getting cut off. Yeah, exactly, bro. It'd be kind of funny though, Doughboy. It'd be kind of funny. Mayweather versus Erislandy Lara. That would have been a good fight at 154. AJ Morningstar would have been a good fight. I'd probably say Mayweather still wins, but stylistically, I think that would be very interesting. I'd say Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia beats him. I'm going to buy the Ruiz Arreola fight. Might as well. Concani and Modelo's for the day. Yeah, bro. I love a good chili con carne. I like making a good old chili. I love it. I knew it for a long time that it was all a lie, but I always reserved from talking about it. I had enough of him talking about my family for no reason, which he always accuses others of, ironically, yeah. And the worst thing about that, right? This is not even like an insult or cussing him out or anything like that, but listen, he says he cares about his parents and whatnot, and I'm sure he does in his own way, but you can't talk all of that shit to people online, right? You basically your documentation is all online, where you live, exactly, etc., etc. That is all online, and you're going online talking shit to numerous people when your address details are online and you live with your parents. If you fuck with the wrong guy, right, and he actually decides to come and check you, then you're putting your parents at risk when you're talking that recklessly. So he needs to really watch out for that. The second thing is, this is how stupid he is. Like, if you type in his name on Google and shit, these videos are going to come up and whatnot. And, you know, we know employers these days, they like to search you. They like to search your internet footprint. And let's say he tries to get a job and his employers say, yeah, we'll take you on. We need to do a bit of background research, though. And they search him up and they find these videos, what he said. That could also affect his employment. He's not a smart person, bro. He really isn't smart at all. But there you go. I'm not sure, Michael Van Gerwen. I'm not sure. I don't think it's on DAZN. I'm pretty sure it's not. Ray Leonard, I would say. Ray Leonard. Late stoppage. I'm not caught up on all of what's happened. What did Johnny do to you, Del? Listen, did nothing to me per se, but what he did do is he revealed himself as a snake. He stabbed Mark in the back. If he can stab one apparent friend in the back, he could stab me in the back. And what he said about Gonzalo and his child, trying to deflect away from the cause. You know, saying basically to donate to him rather than Gonzalo, while having a cable in his mouth, which kind of resembled a tube in hospital, which is what Gonzalo's baby is currently on. So yeah, that's why. Absolutely not, G-Man. Absolutely not. But the thing is, G-Man, when you put your name out there, they can find that shit. They can find that shit. And it's more so the videos other people have made on him using his name. If the employers search that up, they can find that. So, listen, it is what it is. Exactly. It's easy to find out everything about him, where he lives, phone number, his family, etc. He's putting his folks at risk indeed. I saw he's 265 pounds and 5'10", laugh out loud. Yeah. See, I'm in my prime, Doug. I'm 6'1", about 160. I'm a middleweight, bro. I'm like Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade. I'm ready to go. Nice try, Hassan. Nice try. Same G-man. My name doesn't bring up my channel as well. I've typed my name in Google and nothing comes up, so that's good. There's nothing that comes up about me online, which is always good. Dear. Yeah, you're as slender as me, Del. I'm 150 and 5'10". Exactly, man. We're on weight, Duck. We're on weight. I'd be a fucking weight bully though. I'd try and get myself down to fucking 147 if I was fighting. I'd be a weight bully. I'd be like Jaron Ennis at welterweight. Just kill myself and make weight. And to be fair, G-man, you never say anything reckless on your channel anyway. You never say anything reckless on your channel. So even if they did find your channel, they wouldn't really. It wouldn't put them off employing you or anything like that. What boxers are a bigger disgrace than Chavez Jr.? Chavez Jr. in recent memory has been the biggest disgrace, to be honest with you. Maybe. Who's a guy who fucking sucker punched that guy at the end of a fight? What's his name? I'm not sure what dude's name was. You know the guy who sucker punched, I think it was Uriah Grant, and he killed Max Kellerman's brother. That guy, he's a big fucking disgrace. Jeff Lucetta is you're basically a bridgerweight. Yeah, I got no idea, Doughboy. I got no idea whatsoever about Rashidi Ellis. I've not heard about him for a while. BG London is like Ike Ibuche. 6'1", 230, solid muscle. He's like a Ibuchi Povetkin type. Yeah, James Butler, that's it. I was going to say Lionel Butler, but Lionel Butler was a heavyweight, obviously. But yes, James Butler. James Butler. But yeah, James Butler, he was a big disgrace. How he sucker punched, I think it was Uriah Grant at the end of their fight. But yeah, he was a disgrace. Oh, let's not forget Carlos Baldemir as well, what he did. He was out here touching children and God knows what else. That guy was a fucking disgrace as well. Vision, he's a big dude, man. He's a real heavyweight. Vision, he's a real heavyweight. Crazy could definitely get down to cruiserweight. Fat Apples, he's built like Ronnie Corbett. Yeah, the sucker punch. Yeah, on Friday Night Fights. Yeah, Teddy Atlas went fucking nuts. Yeah, Max Kellerman had a brother. Yeah, his brother got killed by James Butler. Yeah, he got killed by James Butler. Real gruesome case as well. Because he basically, Max Kellerman's brother, he took James Butler in because James Butler kind of fell on hard times. They fell out basically. Max Kellerman's brother told him to leave, get out the house, basically kicked him out. And James Butler basically didn't take too kindly to that and he bashed his head in with a hammer. That's basically the story. What's your favourite beer? I quite like the IPAs, like Brewdog. I do like a bit of Brewdog. I like Hop House as well. Camden, is it Hell's Bells, whatever it's called? Camden Lager, that's nice. There's a few beers I like. Richard Grant, yeah. Why did I say Uriah Grant? Fuck's sake. Yeah, Richard Grant. Carlsberg's okay, it's not too bad. Duck, he reckons he could fight at 140. Yeah, 140 could be doable at your height and weight. I could get down to welterweight, I think, if I really, really, really tried, like a real nutritionist diet. I could probably do it. I'll be like a fucking skeleton, though, if I got down to that weight. 154 really would be my best weight. Yeah. Vision is out of my weight category. I'm not going to take on Vision. I think me and Duck could meet at a catch weight though. I think me and Duck could meet at a catch weight. So he's what 5'11", 150. I'm 6'1", 160 ish. Maybe we could meet low 150s. I'd say 154. We'll go super welterweight. Me and Duck this time next year build up. Yeah, Heineken's nice. I do like Heineken. Nothing wrong with Heineken. Yeah, smash for like lads, by the way, if you could. Yeah, Vision's a giant. Yeah, he's a real heavyweight. As he was supposed to fight Duck at a catch weight, but he ducked. Oh, Grolsch is nice. Yeah, Grolsch is nice. It kind of annoyed me though, Duck. They used to have those weird fucking bottles with the weird like opening device thing, but they stopped that. But I like Grolsch. Yeah, as he was supposed to fight Duck at a catch weight, but he ducked. Yo, I'll tell you what. One thing that would be great. We see this YouTube boxing, right? Us YouTube boxing guys are fucking complaining about it. Not so much me. It is what it is. But why don't we do the same thing? Why don't the YouTube boxing community come together and actually do something like that? Maybe come up with like a Patreon where everyone gets involved, and we create a pot where we could hire out a gym and maybe have like fights where we could have purses. So like the winner gets the majority, the loser gets a little bit. That sort of thing, man. Why not? That'd be hilarious. Like if I could get back into the boxing gym when things go back to normal, I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind doing it. That'd be hilarious. I'd probably get fucking knocked out. Yeah, Grolsch is nice, man. I hate Corona and Modelo. Can't understand how they're so popular in North America. I don't mind Corona. I'll drink Corona. I'll drink Corona like on a night out, but I wouldn't buy it for myself, kind of thing. It's not really my thing. Modelo's all right though. You don't really see much of it in the UK, but I don't mind it. My family has its own beer, Swinkles. Maybe I'm biased, but it's the best. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool, man. I'll fight. Listen, Duck, me versus you at a catch weight at 154. If I beat you, you got to provide me a year worth of fucking beer. How about that? How about that? Grant looks like Mason Verger from Hannibal on that box track picture. Swapped beer for Super Malt. Best decision I've ever made. 6'2" and 6'2", and until I was 30, I could never get above 160 pounds. Now 200 pounds and don't even feel or look heavy. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen to me when I get to like 30, 31, 32. My metabolism's going to drastically slow down, and I'll definitely put weight on. But yeah, right now I can basically eat what I want, and I don't really put weight on. If I let myself go, I might get like a little beer belly, but I could lose that in like 10 days, 2 weeks, kind of thing. That's how my body works. My body has always been that way. I've always been like tall and slim, kind of thing. Always been my way. But that's pretty cool, Duck, that you've got your own beer. Your beer. That's pretty cool, man. Your own brew. That's good, man. I think Oscar De La Hoya should step away from the sport. I think he can become a better human being. Canelo went in on him in an interview and it wasn't good. Yeah, I heard about that. But you can't really, argue with what Canelo said. Quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of Canelo, but what Canelo said was true. Oscar is basically a big mess. If I was a young fighter, I wouldn't sign with Oscar. The way he carries himself, I wouldn't personally. I was surprised Canelo stuck around for so long. Nah, still though, it's still pretty cool, man. Johnny hates Ward, but he's like him, always asking for others to come to his hometown. Dell, you lucky bastard. I look at McDonald's and put on weight. Yeah, it's weird, man. That's one good thing, though. I will take that. I do like my metabolism. I do need to bulk up a little bit. I can so with my body, yeah, I can easily get toned. Like I can have that like slim athlete look quite easily, but I've never really worked at it where I'm actually pumping weight and shit and building myself up kind of thing. I've never really been interested in doing that, to tell you the truth. I don't know why. I've just never been interested. Never been interested. Yeah, I don't mind Desperados. Yorkshire tea, yeah, I can't argue with that. De La Hoya is a parasite. I'm not even going to try and say that. I'll just butcher it. Yeah, Earl Grey. I can't argue with Earl Grey. That's not a bad shout. I've gone off TiVo in recent years, man. I'm more of a coffee guy now. I prefer my coffee. It's a nice cup of coffee, no sugar, little bit of milk. Beautiful. I have to do a training camp to lose weight, laugh out loud. It's weird, man. It's weird how people's bodies are so fucking different. If it's not from Yorkshire, it's not allowed in my house. Yeah, if you could smash the like, guys, man, be much appreciated. It always helps with the channel out when you smash the like. I was going to do a live commentary for fucking Sonny Edwards tomorrow, but it's going to be a live stream, so I'm going to have to steal a copy of that fight, so it might cut out, so I might not do it. But I might do a live commentary for Sonny Edwards tomorrow. We'll see. I'm running out of StreamYard time as well, actually, so it depends on whether I've got enough time. Yeah, I'd say so, Carlos Mendoza. I'd say so. Yeah, a tea and a blunt while watching the boxing is the best way to spend a Saturday night. I can't argue with that. So official, I would say like the main event is about 10 p.m. UK time for the main event, and that card in general is actually quite good. You got Kieran Smith versus Troy Williamson. I think that'll be a good fight, and Michael Conlan versus Baluta. That's a pretty good test as well. So the card itself is not too bad. Dream commentary team. Dream commentary team. From a UK perspective, Ian Darke. I think Ian Darke was really good. I like Al Bernstein. I like Paulie Malignaggi. Maybe Ian Darke, Paulie Malignaggi, Al Bernstein, Larry Merchant. I don't know. There's a lot of commentators I like. I hope Billy Joe beats Canelo. I'm sick of Canelo already. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so, Fat Apples. He made some good money doing it. Yeah, I'm not Snoop Dogg. Yeah, there's a few prospects on that card. Official. There's the Franken brothers. I think they're on that card. So there's a few guys to watch out for. I hope Conlan gets his teeth kicked in. Yeah, I don't rate him 8 cents, to tell you the truth. I think he's one of those guys who kind of he's one of those good amateurs who turn pro, but he never really gets rid of that amateur style. I think eventually he'll get broken down when he meets the right guy. I'm not sure about whether Baluta's the guy to do it, but I certainly think he can test him. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Conlon either. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. It's been 2 hours, so that's quite long for me. But yeah, man, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you could smash the like, it always helps us out. But yeah, man, I'm going to wrap this one up. Peace, guys.